I've been teaching high school art for nearly 25 years, and you pick up a rhythm. You know which kids are there to create, which ones are there to hide, and which ones are just counting down the minutes until they can leave. But then you get a student like Maya. Maya was different. She was one of those students who arrived early, grabbed a stool in the very back, and stayed glued to her sketchbook. She never missed a deadline. Her shading was incredible, and her perspective work was flawless. But she never spoke, not to me, and definitely not to her peers. She was a silent observer, with her hoodie up, head down, constantly sketching, never looking up. About a month into the semester, I noticed something odd. During the studio hours, when everyone else was busy chatting or walking around to compare notes, Maya wouldn't let that sketchbook out of her sight. If she had to go to the supply closet, she'd clutch it to her chest like it was a lifeline. She'd scan the room, eyes darting, making sure no one was looking, before she'd even glance at a page. I waited until the end of a rainy Thursday. The studio was empty, the lights were dim, and I just walked over to her station. I didn't want to startle her, so I stayed a respectful distance back. "Maya," I said, keeping my voice low and steady, "you've been working so hard lately. Can I see what you're putting so much heart into?" She went completely still. Her knuckles turned white, gripping the edge of the table. She didn't look at me, she just shook her head, slowly. I sat down on a stool nearby. "You don't have to show me if you aren't ready, but I'm here if you ever feel like you need to talk, or just need a safe place to put things down for a while." She looked at me then. Her eyes were tired, really tired, and for the first time, she didn't look guarded. She just looked relieved. She opened the sketchbook. It wasn't just drawings, it was a visual diary, but on the final page, it wasn't a sketch. Tucked into the binding was a small, laminated picture of her and her younger brother, the edges worn thin from being held. She pointed to it, then to the backpack she'd been protecting all semester. He's not safe," she whispered. Her voice was barely a breath, shaky and small. "He burns my things, my clothes, my homework. He says art is a waste of time. This book is the only way I can keep my brother's memory safe. He's the only thing I have left." It wasn't a prank. It wasn't about grades or being difficult. It was survival. I didn't call the office, and I didn't make a scene. I just opened up my private supply cabinet, the one with the heavy-duty lock, and handed her the key. "Keep it here," I told her. "No one touches this cabinet but you. You can come in before the first bell, and you can stay late if you need to. You have a place here, Maya." She didn't cry. She just gave me the smallest, most genuine smile I'd seen in years. That was a year ago. Maya didn't just survive that semester, she flourished. She eventually joined the mural club, started talking to other students, and realized she wasn't alone. Sometimes teaching isn't about the technique or the